Healing only comes when you recognize it's okay to let go and take off the mask without feeling any shame. Healing comes when you recognize that it's okay to be vulnerable, to let go, and to let God shed light on all the broken places of your soul that you've been creating agendas and personalities to protect for so long. Healing can only begin when you choose to acknowledge the survival mechanisms that you've been holding on to since a child and allow God to create a safe enough place for you to give them up and finally allow Him to cover you. And whatever comes to the surface, knowing that whatever God chooses to shed light on, being so secure and dependent on Him to cover you that you're no longer moved or bothered by the reaction or the persecution that you may get from other people. I choose to let go of the drug called approval that I've had to work so hard to get by editing and molding myself into this artificial carbon copy of a person just to get the same disease that the rest of the world is carrying. That the enemy manipulates us into thinking has some type of value when really in all reality I was just working to get a hospital bed next to other sick people. Listen, approval with the price of losing authenticity is more like theft, and validation with the price of self-rejecting is more like a prison, but committing the crime against oneself just to sit at a table with other prisoners. Understanding that healing can only come when you're able to let go of the tension and the defensiveness of having to explain yourself, even without the reassurance of safety from other people, and knowing that God Himself is your refuge. Listen, your approval is from heaven and heaven alone, and your value and your identity is in Christ and being able to tap into the freedom that most will never know or even have the courage to receive. It takes courage to heal. It takes courage to become vulnerable. It takes courage to confess where you're weak and allow God's grace to be sufficient for you in that area. It takes courage to really look in the mirror and see your reflection and realize that every pursuit in your life was just a reflection of your insecurities, and to sit in the silent loudness of having to deal with all of these things one by one and having to persevere through the temporary pain of everlasting freedom. And I don't mean the type of freedom to do what you want, but the type of freedom that comes from finally being confident in who God made you to be. Come on, let's get it.